Good evening, everybody. I'm just waiting for students to join, and then we'll start in a moment or two, but welcome. Right, we've got quite a few people who have joined us, so I think let's get going and people can join us as we go along. So good evening, first year students. My name is Sally Frost. I'm the Public Relations Manager in the College of Agriculture, Engineering and Science at UKZN. And we would like to give you a warm welcome to our first year orientation session. So this is a Q&A session to answer questions that you might have. There is a chat facility and a Q&A facility on your screen that you'll see. So if you have questions, please post them in the Q&A, and we have a panel of people here who are ready to answer your questions. We'll also be having people live chatting to you. This is more or less a repeat of the orientation we had on Monday and in isiZulu yesterday. So either you listening again or you new, but either way, welcome. Okay, so let's get going. And I'd like to start by asking one of our former students, Cindy Chamane, just to tell us what it's like to be a UKZN student. And Cindy, your tips for success, if you can unmute yourself, please.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Cindy Chamane, and I am an alumni of UKZN. I recently graduated, or rather, completed my BCom honors in marketing. And okay. And so the tips, I suppose, for success, first and foremost, is time management. You need to ensure that you manage your time as best as you can. It's not the same as high school where you have a teacher who will follow you around telling you, have you done this? Have you done that? Have you submitted this and that? You have to ensure that you manage all your modules, give yourself enough time to work on each and every one of them and do the best that you can throughout. UKZN has a lot to offer, especially their students. We've got sports that you can, take part in, just to feel like you're a part of something and you're not just stuck in books. There's also student counselors who are there for you 24/7. Make use of those people. They're there to guide you and help you. Also your ADOs. Just make the most of your experience as a student, and have fun. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Cindy. I'm sure you'd all like to be at Cindy's stage of the game at the end of your degree and working. And if you work hard now, you will get there in 3 years' time. Okay, I just want to share my screen with you now. Where is it? Okay, this is our college orientation page, where any question you might have about your new experience at UKZN. If you don't know how to register, if you don't know about fee clearance, if you don't know about your timetable, this is the place that you must come. There's the address. It's CASE for College of Agriculture, Engineering and Science, / orientation. And I'll just scroll down a bit. On this page, show you what you can see. There's over here, information desk campus tour. So lectures start on Monday. And on each campus, we will have FYE mentors, and they'll be wearing college shirts, and they'll be by a big bright gazebo, and they're there to help you and to take you on tours if you want, and to answer your questions. So look out for them. They're in front of the library at Howard College, also in front of the library at Pietermaritzburg, and in front of the college office at Westville. Going down here, take the time to look at our orientation videos. There's a video explaining everything you need in English, and that one. And there's a video explaining everything you need in isiZulu. We also have the orientation sessions from last year. If you want to go into detail, we will be loading today's session as well. So I would recommend you look at those videos. Going down, student information. Here are a whole lot of useful links if you're doing agriculture or science degree, or if you're doing an engineering degree. It tells you all sorts of different things, academic monitoring, how to access your timetable, the first year experience. For engineering students, there's an orientation booklet here, which gives you your book lists, who your lecturers are, your timetables, because you have a set curriculum. So look at that. Going down, curriculum advice, student support services, we will tell you more about that. Frequently asked questions, useful links. For example, campus clinics. So every campus has a clinic. If you are sick, you can go there. Treatment is completely free of charge. Any support you need, it is completely confidential. So please make use of that facility. Okay. And then at the bottom, there's contact lists if you need people. They're campus maps if you're getting lost. They're also very good videos of the campuses to show you where everything is. Okay, so please go to this website. So it's case.orientation or /orientation. Then the other very important website is our registration page. So if you have not yet registered, start here. It gives you all the information you need. There's a very good video on how to register, because it can be quite confusing. This video is in English and Zulu. Important dates. If you go down, if you click on this link here, it will take you through to Zoom links, where if you click on those links during office hours, there will be someone at the other side who can help you with your curriculum advice and how to register. I just want to click here. So click here to register online. You click there if you have not yet registered. It takes you here. You enter your student number, and it will take you through to the registration page, where there is a step-by-step guide, and it tells you how to register both academically and for residents, which you can only do once you have registered academically. So please visit the registration page, watch the video if you are stuck. Okay. Before you can register, if you are a self-funding student, you will need to pay your fees before you can finish registering. If you are a NSFAS or a bursary student, then you will be cleared for registration. So I'd like, Marsha is from our student funding office. Marsha, if you can unmute yourself and turn on your video and just talk us through the process for funding, especially for NSFAS students and bursary students. Thanks, Marsha.
Thank you, Mrs. Frost. Good evening, everybody, and good evening to our first year students. Welcome to our beautiful university. Hopefully, you'll have a good stay with us. My name is Masha M. Damotse. I'm based in Pietermaritzburg. I'm a financial advisor. I'm going to be brief on the registration clearance parts because we went through on it on Monday. For all our first year funded student by NSFAS, there's no registration fee that they need to pay unless you have a bursary, which is maybe you are funded by an external funder, let's say Nedbank. Nedbank will have to contact us directly, send your award letter to the respective advisor. If you're in Pietermaritzburg, the letter will be sent through to me. If you're in Howard, there is Miss Linda Mdunge and Gerald Naika. If you're at Westville, there is Mrs. Mtondolo, and also in Westville, Mr. Mkize. You will send your award letters to them and you'll be cleared. Another thing, the most important thing with our first year's funded students is that we do not charge as advisors for you all to come to our offices for any advice. We do it for free. It's our policy at the university that when we consult with you all, it is for free. Please do not. We've been getting queries over emails and telephones that students have been asked to pay for consultation regarding their NSFAS applications. We do not charge any students. Another second thing, any information that is financially related to a student, we do not share it with any third party. It's between me and you. And that policy, it's by the university regarding that regardless that it's your mom or your dad that is calling and asking for your financial records, we do not give that information out unless you give us a written consent, which will put under your record in our systems that you have given us a consent that to speak to to a third party. Those are the most critical points that I would like to share with you. But going further and for the rest of the year, please do not be ashamed to come to our offices for consultation. It is very important that with your financial statuses, your financial advisor, you talk to us, only us in the university. Other than that, have a beautiful stay and best of luck for 2024. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Marsha. For students who are self-funded, just to say in the registration process, they will ask you to pay the deposit. There's a address for student fees, and you send this through to, it's either Howard fees at UKZN or Westville fees or PMB fees. And your registration will be parked until your fees have been cleared. And once the hold is lifted and they've got your deposit, then you will automatically complete the registration process. So just be aware of that, but it's explained very clearly in that registration video on the registration website. Okay. For many of you, university is a big change from school. There's enormous academic pressure, but we don't leave you stranded all on your own. We offer excellent support to help you succeed academically. And I'd like Mzamo, I saw was here, who's from our Student Support Center, just to explain the support that you offer to our students. Mzamo, if you can unmute yourself, please.
Thank you, Sally, and good evening to my colleagues and our students. Again, like Ms. Damonte said, welcome, and we wish you everything of the best. Right. Yes, we are Student Support Services. We are available in Westville, Howard, and PMB. We are here to ensure that you succeed academically, and that if certain things do come your way, we are there to ensure that those things that can come your way, they don't land you not doing as you would like to. Right. Basically, we offer number one, individual counseling, where that is free and confidential. Whatever I said there stays there, right? And in those individual sessions, we deal with whatever that is troubling you. There is no issue that is too big or too small or too strange, right? We are there to support you with those. They range from depression, anxiety, relationship issues. Umjolo can be a pandemic, family problems. Unfortunately, in our country, crime is a serious issue. If maybe you have been mugged or you have experienced some form of trauma, we are there to support you in such things. Yes, we are also not sangomas or priests, but if you have things that are spiritual, we recommend that you visit us and just we make a note of it, so that if ever you find yourself having to miss a test or not doing well, we can advocate for you to say, we know that so and so has this particular problem and he or she is attending to it, right? We, on top of the individual sessions, we also offer support groups for things like depression, or like survivors, for rape survivors, and many others. And we also offer life skills, which is, yeah, on different topics. We offer that, which is more like your LO in high school. We also offer that. And most importantly, we advocate for you if there are situations beyond your control that may have affected your academic performance. But the condition is, you must have seen us for one-on-one support. We cannot advocate for you if we have not seen you before, and you come on the day and you say, I couldn't write a test because we must have seen you before, and we must have known your story, and then we can easily advocate for you if there is a need. We are available online, and you can also come and see us face to face. We have a diverse team of registered psychologists and student development officers and interns. Sally, I tried to type the link the other day, but I could only type it for panelists, and yeah. But in the first website that Sally showed you, if you go under student support, you should be able to find the link to book with us for support. We are available Monday to Friday from 8 to 4:30. Yes, thank you, Sally. I think that's about it. Thank you.
Thanks, Mzamo. If you send me the link, I'll post it in the chat for everyone.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll type it.
Okay. As a university student, you'll find you'll be spending a lot of your time in the library. So we've asked Shoba Haku, who is from Library Services, just to explain a little bit about this to you. So Shoba, if you can talk us through Library Services.
Thank you, Sally, and good evening, everyone. So I'm just going to speak to you about what services does the library offer and how does one access these services. And by the way, I'm Shoba Harku. I'm based at the Life Sciences Library here in Pietermaritzburg. So there are libraries on all 5 campuses. We have the main libraries for K students, the E.G. Melhaba Library, which is at Howard College, the Cecil Renault Library in PMB, and the Westville Library at Westville. Take note of the branch library known as the Life Sciences Library. That's based in Pietermaritzburg, and that serves the School of Agriculture, Engineering, and the School of Life Sciences. So remember, your student card allows you access to all libraries, and you also need your student card to borrow books. So the libraries are normally open 24/7, but at the moment they are open from 8 till 4:30. But when lectures start, They will be open for 24 hours. Okay, so what facilities we have and the services available? We have print books, ebooks, master's and PhD theses, journals, etc. These journals are also known as academic magazines. We have databases for subjects. These are a collection of online journals, journal articles, books, theses, etc. We also have an academic reserve section where your lecturer will place your textbooks for you at the library, and you can borrow these books out for 2 hours at a time. We also have study areas with plug points for laptops and cell phones. We have photocopying machines as well as free Wi-Fi. So just remember the library web page. You can just Google UKZN Library if you cannot remember the website. This is your starting point for your research or assignment. You can search for print books, ebooks, and journals, etc., from the library page. If you look at the iCatalog, this searches for all types of information across UKZN. The ebook searches for electronic books, research space searches for your master's and PhD theses. Your Google Scholar, that's your scholarly version of Google. This searches for academic publications. The Contact Us is the contact details for all the librarians at UKZN. The LibGuides, these are short library guides that tell you basically everything about the library, okay? The Ask Us button, this is if you need to post a question. If you're not sure about anything, then you just pop in your question and one of the librarians will answer that for you. So this is what the LibGuides landing page looks like. We've got like 54 subjects. It's for a subject, for all subjects that actually available at UKZN. So all you need to do is just click on your relevant subject, and then it'll open up into the subject that you have registered for. You can see for agricultural engineering, we have all the books, the ebooks, the journals that you can use for agricultural engineering. We also have the contact details, the email, and the telephone number for the librarian. So remember, we have subject librarians on all campuses and all the libraries to help you. They deal with the range of subjects. For example, if you're studying geography in PMB, then you have a subject librarian at Cecil Renault and the Life Sciences Library. The subject librarians can also assist you in searching for relevant scholarly literature for assignments, reports, seminars, etc. So it's important to get to know your subject librarian because they work with your lecturer, and they will make your life so much easier. So these are the subject librarians. Remember, you can also contact them by the Contact Us that's available on the library webpage. We also have a circulation desk where you can just go in and ask a question. This is where you borrow and return books. This is your academic reserve sections where you can borrow out your textbooks. Also, we have the intercampus or interlibrary loan section. For example, if you're based in Pietermaritzburg, and if you need a book in Durban, we can obtain that book for you. If you're looking for a journal article from another university library, then we can also do what we call an interlibrary loans request for you. So remember, we're having library training, and it's important for you to attend the library training sessions because this is how you get to know what we have available at the library and what resources you can use for your assignments, your research projects, etc. So all you need to do is, you see this training schedule is available on the library webpage. All you need to do is register for whichever session you're interested in, and then you will get an email with a link to register, okay? So just remember, please attend the library training. It is so important for you. So thank you very much, and we hope that you enjoy your time here at UKZN, and good luck with your studies.
Thanks very much, Shoba, for sharing information on second home from home on campus is the library. The next person I'd like to chat to you is Trevor Abrahams about safety on campus. You come to study, but unfortunately living in the world we do, safety is always an issue and security. So common sense will get you a long way. But Trevor, if you can just give some tips about how to stay safe on campus.
Good evening, Sally. Good evening, students. Yes, we are RMS, Risk Management Services, and your safety is our concern. We are basically we are constantly upgrading our personnel and security systems to be in line with security trends and combating crime. However, it is essential that every student learns how to stay safe whenever they are on campus. The basic rules of crime prevention apply to everyone in a higher education environment. Criminals are particularly interested in students for several reasons. One is that students have laptops, computers, cell phones, iPods, and other gadgets, items that are light, portable, and easy for a criminal to sell and convert into cash. We urge students to keep safety top of mind at all times when they are out to enjoy themselves. Be particularly aware that alcohol and drugs interfere with your ability to make clear decisions and communicate effectively. Perpetrators are often not strangers to the victims of sexually related cases. If you feel unsafe or think you may be at risk, leave the situation immediately. It is always best to go out in a group with friends you trust to stick together. Don't accept drinks from strangers and watch your drinks at all times. Just a few tips, especially if you're in the residences. Always lock your resident door, even when you are in the room or just going to the bathroom. Resident hall doors must be secure at all times. If you find someone has propped the door open, remove the barricade and secure the door. Also, contact RMS immediately. Report suspicious persons you may see in residence or office corridors. Never open your door to strangers. If you have lost your resident key, report it immediately and have the lock changed. Don't keep residence and vehicle keys on the same keyring, and never disclose your address on your keyring. Do not carry your valuables like laptops when going grocery shopping. And do not be fooled by people offering you specials who don't even work in that store. University is such an exciting experience. To ensure your experience is memorable for the right reasons, mix with people who are like-minded about personal safety and who you can rely on in an emergency. Just a bit about if you have an Android phone, we have the emergency panic button on the My UKZN app. If you press that button, RMS will respond to your emergency. For any emergencies, if you look at the back of your student card, once you have it, all the RMS emergency numbers are there. Thank you, Sally.
Thanks, Trevor. And just maybe to add from my side, inevitably at some stage in a university year, we have some form of protest on campus. That's the nature of the country we're living in, and it's an election year this year. So I'd be very surprised if there isn't something during the year. My advice is stay away. If there are protests, don't go and have a look what's happening, because then you might get caught up in it. Stay away, and that will be the safest for you and your academics. Okay, on to more pleasant topics. Academics is very important, but we also have relaxation and fun on campus. And in particular, we offer all sorts of sports. So I would like Zilungile from our sports department just to explain to you some of the options that you can sign up for at UKZN. Zilungile? I'm not sure if we've lost her. I can see she's on the panel. Maybe Zilungile, you can just message me when you're ready, and we'll we'll talk about sports. But let's move on then to your academics, which is ultimately why you're here at university. We don't throw you in the deep end with no support. We give a lot of both academic monitoring of your progress and support to ensure that you progress as best you can. So I'd like to call on Ashwin Manival just to talk to us about the academic support and monitoring that is offered. Ashwin, are
Okay,
you here?
good evening, Dr. Frost. Can I ask that we just move on and just give me a few minutes to sort a technical issue out on my side? Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Thank you.
Okay, I see first year experience. Sinatemba, you here? Okay, so let me explain this while Sinatemba turns on her camera and mic. As after COVID, we found that students were really battling with online learning, and so we introduced the first year experience, which is a compulsory module that all first years have to do across the university, whatever degree you do. And because it was so helpful, this has become part of the compulsory modules that you have to do. So I'm going to ask Sinatemba just to talk you through this so you understand what you have to do. Sinatemba, over to you.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sinatemba Ndlovu. I'm the first year experience coordinator from the College of Agriculture, Engineering and Science. So today I'm going to be speaking about the first year experience program. So those of you who are curious on what the program is, you may have received messages with your login credentials to the first year experience module. So the FYE program is a comprehensive orientation and support program for all first-time entry students at the university. So these students are referred to as F10s. And as of 2024, the BR10 rule has been put in place, which states that every student must complete the program in the first year of their degree in order to graduate after their 3 or 4 year program. So shockingly, we saw that a number of students drop out during their first year of university. And this dropout is not only costly to the state and the institution, but it's also, and very importantly, it's also costly for you as the student and your families. Therefore, the first year experience program was developed to increase student success and retention. And we considered 4 elements. We considered institutional factors, academic factors, psychosocial factors, as well as financial factors. And by combining these factors, we were able to develop a first year experience module. So the first year experience module has 4 units. Unit 1, which is the unit that you currently will be working on in the upcoming few weeks, is on orientation and introduction. So just taking you through university policies to help you creating your timetable and getting yourself familiar with the university and your specific campus. Thereafter, you move on to Unit 2, which is on academic skills and development, also focusing on learning styles and understand writing techniques as well. And then Unit 3 is on student wellness and global citizenship and sustainability awareness. And the last unit is Unit 4 on financial literacy. So the first year experience program is facilitated by mentors. We have mentors across all campuses. At Howard campus, we have 20 mentors. Pietermaritzburg, we have 25. And at Westville, there are 35. So please be on the lookout for communication from your mentors, either over WhatsApp or over email, and even over phone call. And they will be inviting you into their WhatsApp group where you guys can have facilitated discussions, and they'll assist you with completing the first year experience module. So peer mentorship is recognized as an effective strategy for combating the challenges that are faced by you guys as first year students. Through this model, first year students can gain insights and advice from peers who have successfully navigated similar challenges. So the approach that we have embarked on not only helps is not only related to academic matters, but it also aids with social integration and adapting to the new university environment. So we have a group of mentors. And they'll be in contact with you, as I said, and they will schedule weekly sessions with you and maintain regular communication. And then there'll be a WhatsApp group for you guys to have smooth communication, and they'll help you to work through the content and complete each of your FY units, as well as troubleshoot with you any challenges you may have with either the unit itself, or even with directing you to academic advising, student support services, as well as assisting you getting through campus. So the module is hosted on a website that can be found on this website, and you'll be assigned a mentor who will guide you through the process of accessing the website. You would have already received an email with your login credentials. Please follow that email very carefully. The email address that the email would have been sent to is the email that you used on your CEO application. So this is Unit 1. There's 10 topics under Unit 1, and you need to complete all these topics 100%, then move on to Unit 2 and Unit 3 accordingly. If you're having a challenge with needing a mentor, or you need to verify someone who has contacted you either through WhatsApp or email, please do not hesitate to contact us. You can contact our administrator, Ms. Tembelihle Mtshali. That's her email address there. And there's also a group of campus coordinators. We have myself, Snetemba Ndlovu in Pietermaritzburg. We have Mr. Mandla Nkosi Kumalo at Howard, and we have Ngobile Motsumane at Westville campus. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Sneh. While we're talking compulsory modules that are non-credit bearing, I'd also just like to bring to your attention that all first-year students from this year have to do the new Social Justice and Citizenship module, CSJ module. You don't have to do it in first year. You can do it in first year, but you do have to do it before you finish your degree if you want to graduate. You will see, if you have registered for your modules, that it is an option that you click for either the first or the second semester this year, and it will appear on your registration printout, but it is non-credit bearing. And once you've started lectures, if you did choose to do it this year, you can speak to the administrator in your school, and they will tell you when you can attend the sessions. It's a combination of online content that you need to work your way through, and group contact sessions where you chat to other people. And it's dealing with all sorts of issues related to social justice and citizenship. Okay, Ashwin, are you ready, or are you still having
I'm
technical
fine.
issues? Okay,
I'm sorted.
so
Thank you.
Ashwin's going to talk to us about academic monitoring and the support that you can get. Thanks, Ashwin.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Frost. Am I sharing my screen?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so my name is Mr. Ashwin Manival. I'm one of the academics in the CASI program at UKZN. Today I'm presenting a section on academic monitoring and support. It was supposed to be presented by Dr. Dola Verghese. So everything you see here, you would have also seen from her on Monday, if you go to the website and you look at that information. So first of all, what is academic monitoring and support? So academic monitoring has to do with us at the university monitoring students and their academic performance throughout their sort of academic journey. We have to identify underperforming students early so that we can offer them the necessary support that they need. And if a student is found in a position where they are underperforming, when performance is tracked, these students are sort of, the support becomes compulsory to them. and so they have to attend. There are two types of academic monitoring. So there's the intra-module level and there's the intermodule level. The intramodule level happens after tests. So when you come to university and you write your first test, and you're going to enjoy your first test, okay? When you write your first test, your results will then be monitored by certain individuals whose responsibility it is. This has to do with your lecturers, your academic leaders, academic development officers, so on and so forth. And then sort of procedures are put in place to help you from there. But there's also inter-module level. So this takes place at the end of each semester. So at the end of a semester, those people again, that academic panel will sit and they will look at your exam results. So at the end of a semester, in school you used to do a whole year. At university you do semesters, so you do the first 6 months, second 6 months. And so at the end of the first semester, they will sit down, they will look at your performance. And then this brings us to the robot system. So what will happen at the end of every semester is this academic panel will sit with your results. They will sort of weigh out your results in terms of how many credits you've achieved in the semester, how many credits you've accumulated to date, and then students will be given what we call term decisions. At least term decisions, I don't want to go into them too much because this is your orientation, but essentially students will fall into different color-coded categories. We call it the robot system. You get students who do outstanding. Okay, if you get 75% average and above, you get a dean's commendation, you go on to blue. If you stay within the green, greater than 75%, then you will be on the green, you have good academic standing. If you fall below 75% of sort of normal credit load accumulation for that semester, you will be at risk. I'm talking about your progression. And then we have something called a minimum progression requirement. If you fall below that, you become underperforming. And finally, if you will receive a warning, be on probation if you fall below the minimum progression requirement, receive 1 probation. And then if you fail that probation, you will be asked to appeal, to come back, and every student is given 1 appeal. And if you exhaust that appeal and if you fail probation again, then you're excluded for a certain amount of time from the university. You'll have to go out and you'll have to sort of fulfill certain academic rehabilitation and in return and come back and try and finish the degree. But of course, we don't really want to get you there. That's the whole point of support. And so at the end of the semester, at the end of every semester, your academic panel will sit with this diagram. It's a bit complicated. It's a flowchart, it's an algorithm. It has a lot of if-then statements within it. But at the start of every semester, depending on what color code you enter as, so you will enter in as green from the start, your results and your accumulated results over time will go through this algorithm, and then you'll end up with a term decision. Your academic leader will end up with a term decision for you at the end. And so what I want to do is I want to go through the academic support at UKZN. Okay, so we know that the transition from school to university is difficult, and academic support is helpful, it's useful, and it's needed. And straight from the start, I would like to encourage all our students to attend these sort of academic structures. So in the school, in the college, we've got 5 schools. So the School of Life Sciences, School of Chemistry and Physics, School of Mathematics, Statistics, Computer Science, School of Agricultural, Earth, Environmental Sciences, School of Engineering. Then we also have a unit called CASI, which is the Center for Academic Success in Science and Engineering. Within these schools, within each one of these schools, we have principal academic development officers. So on your screen, you'll see that in Howard College, we have Mr. Marimure. On Westville, we have Dr. Varghese and Ms. Gumbi. And then we also have, well, actually on PMB, we have Nyameka Diko and Ms. Gumbi. And then on Westville campus, we have Mrs. Slalukane and Dr. Varghese. So these are academic development officers. Their role is to monitor you throughout the semester. If you're not performing well, you'll receive messages from them, and they will put you on programs of support. So the different kinds of support at UKZN, one of the supports is SI. So SI is what we call supplemental instruction. It's an extremely popular support program at UKZN, right? It's sort of the flagship. SI is non-remedial approach to learning that supports students towards academic success. So SI is built on two things. It's built on peer collaboration and active learning. So a group of students get together and they are led by an SI leader, and the SI leader is extremely well trained. They're trained on SI principles, and it's really a system that works well. So SI is open to all students who attend. Doesn't mean that only because you perform badly you have to attend it, but it's there for all students to attend. And what happens during SI sessions? Students compare notes, they discuss readings, they develop study skills and predict test questions. Sessions are facilitated by senior students who have done well in the module. We also have hot seats, and hot seats is really popular with our students. So we call it hot seat because the person the tutor who does the hot seat doesn't have time to prepare for it. So every kind of support structure, other support structure, they have a worksheet and they prepare for it, and the students come to them. The student who is doing, a tutor is doing hot seat, students come to them with their own questions. So they really don't have time. They can prepare for the content, but not the specific questions. And so we say the tutor is in the hot seat, right? Who can attend? All students are open to attend, but particularly we have it for maths and stats. So maths and stats tend to be sort of numerically abstract. Students struggle with it. So a lot of students find benefit in doing the hot seats. We have writing places. Writing is extremely important academic writing, how to write prac reports, how to write sort of mini thesis, mini projects. You have to do a lot of reading and writing at university. You must read and you must write, okay? And so it's open again to all students, and students can go to the writing center and they get assistance from well-trained sort of tutors who are proficient in the academic writing process. The other support structures we have at UKZN, peer mentorship. You would have had contact with your peer mentor, so you know about the peer mentorship. We have workshops and a whole lot of different things. We have test preparation, exam preparation. We have workshops on writing. We have workshops on, throughout the semester, your ADOs will be in contact with you. They will advertise the workshops. If you see emails about the workshops, if you see student notices about the workshops, don't ignore them, okay? Make some time, go to the workshops, and you will learn a few things about being professional about certain aspects at university, right? There's academic advising, which is also a support structure. Your ADOs, which I showed you in the previous scheme, will be in charge of that. And then we have residence tutorials, and we even have tutorials in isiZulu, okay? And so just a few tips to succeed at university. The first one is manage your time. This is extremely important, right? Manage your time. You do not want to fall behind at university. If you fall behind a week at university, it is extremely difficult to recover. University is about the work comes thick, it comes fast. It's not like school. The one difference between school and university is that the workload comes extremely quickly. So you cannot say, I will relax this week and then I'll cover up next week. You're not going to have the time to cover up, right? If you can do something and manage your time well. The next thing is you must attend lectures, please. This is extremely important. It is a global sort of phenomenon now where students tend to not attend lectures. Lectures are extremely important. Physical lectures, online lectures, doesn't matter what form of lecture it is. Make the time and respect the culture of attending lectures. Prepare for lectures and tutorials. This is another important thing. Take the time to read your notes. Take the time to summarize notes. Take the time to actually keep notes, keep records, get a file. The best advice I can give you from now is to get a file. Whatever you have, file it. When you have do tutorials, write it out, file it. If you take your notes for the day, write it out, file it. One of the things I always ask students is, if I asked you as a student to show me what you did on the 5th of March, and if you cannot turn to a filing system, whether it be soft copy on the computer or hard copy, if you cannot turn and tell me what you did on the 5th of March, it is a problem. Okay, any business structure, anything, you're a scientist, accountant, lawyer, doctor, you have to keep records and you have to be able to reproduce them. That's the first thing. The second thing, if I ask you and I say, turn to the 6th of March and show me what you did in your tutorial, and you cannot do it, it means you're not doing what you're supposed to do. As a student, you should be able to reproduce your notes. You should be able to reproduce your tutorials whenever they are asked for, right? And the last thing is to get help. Get help early if required. So if you're struggling in the second week with certain concepts, don't say, I will sort it out before the exam, before the test. Remember, I told you university moves quickly and you may not have time to recover, right? So get help early. You have your ADOs, your academic leaders, your lecturers, your tutors. All these people are here to help you. You have student support. They're here to help you. Don't isolate yourself. Whatever you do, do not isolate yourself. Hang around with your fellow colleagues when you study in the library, build student support groups, and also see the professionals on campus who are here to help you, right? And this is the website you can go to. You will, it's a teaching and learning here. You will find information about the ADOs and the different support structures and some videos as well and resources for you to take part in. So that's the end from me in this section. I'll hand over to Dr. Frost now. Thank you.
There I am. There I'm not. There I am. Thanks, Ashwin. While we have you on the floor, would you like to talk about academic advising or come back later? Okay.
Yeah,
Ashwin will tell you about academic advising and what help you can get.
Okay, so academic advising at UKZN. So I've introduced myself. So basically at UKZN, when you come in as a new student, so you are a first year student, you want academic advice. So the advice I'm talking about today in particular is something called curriculum advice. So academic advising is a broad term. It has to do with many different things within your university experience, but curriculum advising specifically has to do with the modules you pick. Now the modules you pick are important because if you pick the wrong modules, it means you don't open up the second and third year modules. It means you have to spend extra time and extra year at university, and every extra year you spend at university is costing you money, okay, because you're not working. That's extremely important that you get your curriculum right from the start. Now, in order to get your curriculum right from the start, well, the purpose of this presentation, there's a lot here. I'm not going to go through everything in detail, but the main purpose, and this is what I want you to understand, the purpose of this is to show you how to get academic advice. So to do that, I have to sort of get you thinking about who you are and where you belong in the university. Right now, you belong in the College of Agriculture, Engineering and Science. You don't belong in any of the other 3 colleges. And in our college, we have 5 schools. I've mentioned those 5 schools to you in the last presentation, so I'm not going to do that. But what you do is you do a qualification, right? You do a qualification, and these qualifications sort of will belong to certain schools. So you got to ask yourself questions like, what qualification am I registering for? You'll be surprised. I see students after spending 2 years at the university, and I ask them, what is your qualification? And they're not clear about it, right? Don't be that student. So you, from the start, if I can advise you anything, is to get the handbook. Go to the university website, download the handbook. When you register on campus, go to college office, ask them if they can give you a handbook, if they can email it to you. Study the handbook, study your qualifications, study the modules. You need to know, what are my majors, what are my streams, what modules does my qualification require me to register for, and how do I go about selecting sort of things like electives. So your qualification is the degree. Your degree is divided into streams. We'll talk about that just now. And then you have modules. Now modules are the actual subjects that you do at university. So Biology 101, Chem 110, those are modules. And then these modules and the majors belong to schools, and there are 5 schools, and I've explained those schools to you. The next thing we have to talk about is the structure of a qualification. So what I've done is I've taken from our handbook, so on this screen, I've sort of summarized the different sort of qualifications. You get a Bachelor of Science. Bachelor of Sciences, you get general Bachelor of Science, you get focused programs. So focused program are things like chemistry and chemical technology, applied chemistry. We say focused because the curriculum is very fixed within those programs. What you see on the curriculum is what you get with them. A general BSc is a bit more flexible, very, very flexible, in the sense that when you do a general BSc, you can mix and match. And this is where sort of translational thinking comes into play, and new ideas and new scientific breakthroughs, because you can combine a different areas in science, and you get trained in them, and you can apply this to your work later on. So with the general BSc, we have two streams. We have the LES stream, and we have the M stream, and we get the Bachelor in Science and Engineering, which is fixed. Bachelor of Science in Agriculture, which is also a fixed stream. It's very sort of structured approach. And then in the blue on the right, you get your Bachelor of Science, Agricultural Management, Agricultural Extension, which has to do with the farming. You get Dietetics, Human Nutrition, and the Bachelor of Science in Land Surveying. Now, very quickly, I'm going to use BSc degree as an example. This is not all degrees. This is not engineering. Engineering is 4 years, right? This is not about sort of your other agriculture degree, which is 4 years. This is just the structure of a BSc degree. So it doesn't apply to other qualifications. This is an example. So for example, to qualify or to get a degree in the BSc degree, you need 384 credits at the end. At least 96 need to be at level 1. With the maximum, this is important, the maximum of only 160. Don't major in first year. A lot of students will pick multiple first year modules thinking because they're accumulating credits, they're going to be okay at the end. The reality is you can only have maximum 160. If you get more than that, it doesn't count. At second year, you have to have at least 96 credits level 2. And then in level 3, you have to have at least 128. Your elective modules, they form part of the unspecified credit. So you'll see in your handbook, when you look, you'll see that you may not have enough credits to meet the 384 in certain areas. So you will add electives according to the handbook rules, right? Then you have a maximum of 32 credits outside the college. You cannot do more than 32 credits outside our college. You cannot go to humanities and CLMS, law and management. You can go there and do modules, right? But you cannot go above 32. If you go above 32, it won't count. And these modules, it doesn't matter what level they are, they will only count at level 1 for you in this college. So if you decide I'm going to do a second year module in humanities, that doesn't count as a second year module here. It'll count as level 1, right? The next thing is a student must obtain credits for Zulu 101 unless otherwise exempted. If you are a student who does not speak Zulu, if you do not do Zulu in school, right, you have to finish this module Zulu 101. It is a part of your core curriculum. You'll see it in the handbook. If you are a Zulu speaking student who actually did Zulu at school, or even a non-Zulu speaking student who did Zulu at school, if you passed the Zulu, you can take your results to language department and they will exempt you for the Zulu 101. If you are a student who didn't do Zulu in school, but you are proficient at your home language in speaking Zulu, go to the language department, they'll give you a proficiency test. You will write the test. If they find you adequate, they will exempt you for Zulu 101. Very important. Don't come to the end of your degree, right, and then realize, oh my word, I didn't do Zulu 101. Then you have to spend 6 months doing Zulu 101 and the year is wasted, and then remember what I told you about working. And so there's different ways you can structure the BSc degree. You can do 160 level 1, 96 level 2, 128 level 3. You can do 128, 128, 128, and then you can do the 144, 112, 128, which is the in-between. It depends on how you want to structure it with your academic advisor, right? Now, this page is important because at the end of the slide, I'm going to show you how to go to a website to click on some links to get academic advice with an academic advisor. But here's the catch. This is the thing. There are 5 links on that page. 1 link for each school. If you don't know the school you go into, you're going to go to the wrong link. You're going to stand in the queue for 4 hours. I'm not saying it's going to take 4 hours, but maybe take a long time. And then you're going to realize I was in the wrong place. So what you have to do is look at this and figure out where you lie. Am I a chemistry student? Am I a geography student? Am I an ecology student? And then from there, you'll be able to say which school you belong to. SLS is School Life Sciences, SMSCS is School Maths, Stats, Computer Science, so on and so forth, right? You will be able to figure out your school, and then you click the right link. So you use this page together with the links at the end to get online academic advising for this sort of short-term period of registration. So I'm going to really quickly, I'm going to go over an example of how to figure out your curriculum. This you do before you go to the academic advisor. So you get the handbook from online, right? You ask yourself, what is my qualification? You find it in the handbook, you look at the modules in the handbook, you figure out which semester the modules belong. You have to add up the credits to achieve normal credit load, right? You have to figure out which electives to take, make sure there are no timetable clashes, and then you have to make sure you've considered Zulu 101. Now, this looks like a lot, but it's not a lot. When I was a student undergrad, I had this book, and let me tell you something. I looked at this book. I was so paranoid I was going to miss something. I read the book over and over, and I went and queried over and over. But the point is, don't just go to an academic advisor and say, advise me, tell me what to do, right? Life is not about people telling you what to do. You've got to get that book, and for yourself, you have to convince yourself that what they're telling you is right. You must do that, okay? This is an example for a student who's majored in biology and chemistry. So, for example, I am using 2022 handbook, so these rules won't apply to 2024. This is a presentation from previous years. The purpose of this presentation is not to give the academic advice, it's to show you how to figure it out. So my point is, it's a disclaimer. This is an old book. Don't look at this book and try to figure out your curriculum. Go and get the 2024 book, right? And so what I'll do is I will go to year one for both chemistry and biochemistry. I will pick the modules. I will write them out with my hand on a page. I'll write them out. And then the next thing I'll do is I'll go and look in the timetables which semester they lie in. I'll split them up. And I realize, oh, in semester 1, 64 credits. This is normal credit load, right? For the BSc, 64 is normal credit load. It's 416 modules. And then in semester 2, now you realize you're 48 credits, your module short. You need another 64 credits, right? Then you can you have to consider whether you've done the isiZulu module, for example, and an isiZulu module can go in that place, or an elective of your choice, right? Now, when you scroll into the handbook, when you look further into it, you'll come across module descriptions. This is important because many times students ask me, which lecture should I take? Should I take this? Should I take that? And then when I look at it, the student hasn't read. No, read. It says that this module is to enable life science students to make effective use of computers in communicating, researching, information managing, analyzing data, and presenting their findings as reports and presentations. You have to read, you have to analyze the course you're taking, become familiar with the description, become familiar with the assessments, become familiar with the DP requirement, things like that, right? So a DP requirement would require you to have a certain number of tasks you have to fulfill, or a certain percentage you have to make up in assessments to write the exam, right? Familiarize yourself with those things. But the two important things right now for you is the two areas I've circled. You see that 16C at the end? That means 16 credits. That's how you tell what credit the module is. And then the P2 and W2, that's how you tell which semester they're in. P2 means Pietermaritzburg second semester. W2 means Westville second semester. And then, of course, number 6, figuring out the electives, making sure that there are no timetable clashes, and making sure you've considered Zulu 101. Now, I've given this presentation to Dr. Frost. She's put it on the orientation website. What you can do is go and download this presentation from that website, right? This presentation I'm using right now. Play the presentation on your computer, and then click this link. See at the bottom how to access and use a timetable. Click that link. It will take you to timetables. It'll take you to a video that's going to show you how to work the timetables out. It's too much for me to show now. So get the presentation and click that link. The next thing I want to draw your attention to is a list of electives. So these are a list of electives that a first year student can take. Note that in some situations, students cannot take certain modules. For example, students can take Nutrition 114 as an elective, but they cannot take Nutrition 124 and FSC 120 because that's for a different qualification in nutrition, right? Also, very important at the bottom of ring something. Credit may not be obtained for both Compound 06 and Compound 100. This is important. This is not only for Comp. There are many modules that will cross over with other modules, and you cannot, because they have so much in common with each other, you cannot get credits for both of them. So before you register a module, be aware and make sure that there is no restriction in you doing both those modules in the handbook. Because again, what will happen at the end when you come to your degree, when the audit is being done for you to be degree complete, somebody's going to pick it up and you're going to have to do an extra year, right? And the next thing is BSc 4 students. Yours is really simple for this first year. You register Biology 195, Chem 195, Math 195, Physics 195, and the 2 ESCOM modules in first and second semester. And so how to receive academic advising for registration. This is the link. Again, download this presentation. You can either click this or you can copy and paste it into your browser, but they're virtual meetings where academics and students can sit and they can talk about their curriculum and they can explain to you what you're doing and make choices intelligently. Use this link to go to those meetings. Use that page I showed you with the schools to figure out which school you should click. And again, I'm putting up the pictures and the information of the ADOs. These are academic development officers. These guys are extremely competent in the area of academic advising. They do general advising, and they also assist with curriculum advising with the collaboration with their academic leaders and academics in the school, right? So at the bottom again, there's a link where you can find it's the same link that was in the previous presentation, and right now that's all from me. I'll hand over to Dr. Frost. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Ashwin. I know this is an awful lot of information to assimilate in one sitting. So please, to reiterate, everything is on the orientation page. So if you don't know the address, just Google CASE, C-A-E-S, for Agriculture, Engineering and Science, orientation. It will take you there, and scroll up and down and everything is there. Okay, to get back to the fun stuff, Zilungile is now here from sports. Zilungile, are you connected?
Yes, I'm connected, and good evening to everyone. My name is Zilungile, as mentioned by Doctor. I'm gonna take you through the sports department. We have a variety of sports. I'm trying to share on my side a document. Okay, yes, there were. Doctor, can you share from your side?
Okay, just keep talking and give me a moment and I'll share.
Okay. Our sports is we do have our sports in all our 5 campuses, but medical school and Howard share the same facilities, and they also share the same venues in terms of administration for sport. So our administration is situated in all our 4 campuses, which is Edgewood, Howard, Westville, and Pietermaritzburg campus. In Westville, they are situated at the Sports Center, and Howard, they're situated at the Sports Union building. Edgewood, they are situated at the hall, and also in PMB, they're in this Golf Road campus. So take time. I encourage you to go and visit the sports department, where you will see the variety of sports that are offered. We do have staff members that are there, are dedicated and working hard to ensure that you get all your needs that you would like to engage on. So when it comes to sports, we do have the administration, which is the sports union, the sports officers, and also the sports attendants that are situated at the facilities. Where to find us, I've gone through that. Those are the contact numbers and the emails in all our facilities. And then our facilities, we do have our swimming pools in all our campuses. We do have Olympic-sized swimming pools that are available at for free for all our students, but you need to activate and sign up an indemnity and ensure that whenever you are swimming, there is a lifeguard in the area that is available to help you at all times, regardless if you're a professional swimmer or not, because at times accidents do happen and we need you to be assisted whenever there is a need. And also we do have our gyms that have been renovated. The Howard College gym has been renovated and it's open. Pietermaritzburg gym will open in March, the 1st of March. It's also being renovated as we speak. So those gyms are available to students only, not staff members, but it's only for students, and you pay about a fee of about 600 Rand per year. So we also have our squash courts, we have our soccer fields, the rugby fields, cricket, and our sports centers that also are multi-coded facilities for all our sporting codes. So basically with sports, we start from aerobics, athletics, and all the way down to the water sports. So we do have all the racket sports, we do have all the water sports, even bodybuilding and dance are also part of the package that we offer at UKZN. So UKZN sports participate at all levels, being at a recreational level, socially, and also we do offer residence leagues. And we also offer swimming lessons for free to those students that cannot swim. And this is a lifetime skill that we encourage all the students to take part in, and ensure that at all times you do adhere to the time slots that are there for the swimming lessons. So why sports at UKZN? You as an engineering or as agriculture or engineering agriculture student, we encourage you because we have a lot of work to do. Your academic schedule is very packed, and we encourage you to participate in sports so that you can relieve stress, and you can also ensure that you socialize with other students. We say a healthy mind, a healthy body. You can only get that by making sure that you balance your life as a student on campus, but ensuring that you also do manage your time effectively and efficiently, because you are here to ensure that you get your degree at the end of the day. So don't overdo it, but we are saying go and participate and make sure that you learn something new at the varsity, even if you haven't been a sport fanatic before. But we encourage you, just go and learn something new. We've got coaches that are there to assist you. Either you a beginner or you are competitive, we also offer services for coaches to assist you at all levels. So our coaches are highly qualified, and it's easy for you to become a member. You just go to the sports union building, and at the sports union, you produce your valid student card. When you say valid, it means you have already registered for 2024. Then you can, only then you can become a member of any of our sporting codes. So once your card is activated, and then you are then at liberty to use the facilities, but the coaches are only available in the afternoons. So ensure that you get the times and you leave your contact details with the sports union so that they add you to the group where you belong. If you are a netball player, they'll add you to the netball group, so that you can get all the details of when and how the cancellations, when there's it's a rainy day or it's a very cold day. So ensure that you are clued up and you know what's happening with your sporting code of your choice. And then at UKZN, we participate at all levels. We participate in the USA Games, where it's all the universities that are participating, and most of our students have done very well in the past few years. We have qualified for Varsity Shield, which is rugby, and also we qualified for Varsity Cup for football, and for the ladies rugby, they're also playing in the Varsity Cup. Our volleyball is number one in South Africa. Our ballroom dancers, they are also on top. They even went, this year they are going for the World Student Games. So we encourage you to take part, even if you're not a sports person, but you can become a member of the club and manage the club or administer the club. You get experience there in terms of being a part of the structure of that particular code. So these are some of our students that have taken part in most of our sporting activities. And then in this slide, we've got rugby. Rugby in our campus participates in a very competitive league, which is the Varsity Shield. They compete with other institutions. There's Varsity Cup and Varsity Shield. Varsity Shield is the competition where we take part, and look out for the dates up there in the screen. There's the 8th, and that date for the 8th is no more Peter Boysen, but it's Howard. And then 15th Howard, 22 Howard, and then the 12th will only be Peter Boysen. And we encourage you to go and distress, make friends, and have fun at UKZN. And once again, welcome. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Silungile. So if you don't know where sports admin is on the campuses, remember all information is on our orientation page right at the bottom on campus maps. You can go there and find where the sports admin is. And this slideshow is also on the sorry, there we go, on our orientation page. Okay. I see that Antoinette is here. Antoinette is the coordinator of the Social Justice and Citizenship module, and she just wanted to tell you a little bit more about the module. So Antoinette, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Sally. Just briefly, a little bit of information about the Critical Social Justice and Citizenship module. It's a compulsory, non-credit bearing module, which has been introduced from this year throughout the whole of the university, regardless of what degree students are taking. As it is compulsory, first-year students across the whole of the university will need to register in either their first, second, or third year of their undergraduate degree. So depending on their workloads, as long as it's before you complete your degree. It will also be offered in both semesters 1 and 2, so giving students a lot more options as to how they can fit this into their academic timetable. So the module itself looks at a range of social injustices and social issues, including race and culture and gender-based violence, xenophobia, homophobia, disability, class differences, etc. And we do this with the intention of healing the prejudices and divisions of our past and finding a new way forward where we can learn to accept and respect and celebrate all people regardless of their differences. So the module uses a blended learning approach, which means that students will be required to engage with 8 online pre-recorded lectures about the various topics in their own time, and then the same number of in-person supportive tutorials, which will be 90 minutes long, 1 a week for 8 weeks. And in these tutorials, you'll be able to speak with the facilitator, the tutors who will be facilitating your group, discuss in group situations. It's informal, it's very experiential, share your thoughts, your ideas, your experiences, and just kind of really work with the topics and the issues. They are slightly uncomfortable, some of the topics and issues, but I think this module really aims to have those conversations that matter, that we just don't keep quiet and sweep them under the carpet and hide away from them. So the online lectures will be uploaded onto Learn 2024 under the EDSJ 1CS module. So if you register for the module in this first semester, we will start the first week in March, and the in-person tutorials will start from the second week in March. And venues for these will be communicated with students. And we look forward to seeing you online or in our in-person tutorials. Thanks so much for your time. Thank you, Sally.
Thanks, Antoinette, for joining us. Okay, the next thing I wanted to chat about is being science and engineering students. You have pracs every afternoon, which is something unique to our college. So you need to know how to allocate your pracs. So Zanin Tlantla is here and she'll talk to you about prac allocation, the software to use. Zanenhlanhla?
Good evening, everyone. As Dr. Frost has mentioned, my name is Zanenhlanhla, and I'm an ADO at the PMB campus. Welcome to all our first years. I hope that you guys have a very successful year. So as mentioned, yes, if you're a science and engineering student, you do practicals at the university. These happen from 2 to 5:15 every day, and some also take place on Wednesday, from 9 to 12, I think. So what happens is you guys will basically be allocated a day for each of your modules that have pracs, and some modules, instead of practicals, they have tutorials. You'll also be allocated days for when you do that tutorial for that specific module. If you do experience a clash where you find you've got 2 pracs, you've been assigned to 2 pracs for 2 modules in one day, you just need to contact both of the schools and they will assist you in sorting out that clash. But that would just be an anomaly in the software. Those things don't usually happen. But if it does in your case, you can just easily get it sorted out. Pracs are compulsory, tutorials are compulsory, so you need to make sure that you try not to miss them at all, as they do count towards your duly performed requirements in order for you to write an exam. If you do miss a tutorial or a practical, you need to submit proof of why you missed it. So for instance, if you were sick, you would need to provide a doctor's note. If maybe you had to miss the prac due to a family commitment, such as a funeral, you'd have to submit perhaps a death certificate of the family member that passed away. But also, as I said, keep in mind, please do not miss a lot of your pracs, only if it's really necessary for you to do so. Ideally, you should only miss 2 pracs, and if you miss more than 2, then you might not be allowed to write your exam. Another thing to keep in mind is that when you guys have pracs, you need to have a lab coat. You guys will be informed of where you can fit your lab coats next week during lectures. You need to have a lab coat. For chemistry practicals, you also may need to wear safety goggles. If you are someone who wears reading glasses or spectacles, then you don't need to wear your safety goggles. But if you don't wear glasses, then you need your safety goggles. Also remember that you need to have closed shoes on at each and every prac, not pumps, but closed shoes, preferably sneakers. And also try not to wear any shorts or vests or crop tops when you have a prac. Yeah, that's all I have to say about practicals at the university. And once again, all the best for this year.
Thanks very much, Zanenhlanhla. I've just been looking at the Q&A in the chat, and there are 2 issues I just want to talk to you about. The one is residence. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Just to explain the process for residence allocation. When you did your CAO application, you want residence, you had to apply for residence when you applied for your degree on CAO. So you would have clicked a box that says, yes, I want residence. If you did not apply for residence on CAO, you will not be offered residence now, unfortunately, but that is how the system works. If you did apply for residence, what happens is that there are a certain number of beds available for first-year students. And the Department of Student Residence Affairs allocates these beds to colleges, and then colleges offer them to students. And you put on a waiting list, and you are prioritized if you live far away from campus. So as the residence places are used up, you'll either get a place or you won't, depending on where you are on the waiting list. Unfortunately, they're not enough. There's more demand than there are beds. So if you have not, you would have been made an offer with residence, or if you weren't made an offer with residence, it means you have not been offered residence. If you have not been offered residence and you're needing somewhere to stay, I would suggest you go to this page that I'm sharing. It's the Department of Student Residence Affairs.ukzn.ac.za. and I'm clicking on private accommodation. So you go there and they have a list of, here we go, Howard College and Medical School, private accommodation, Westville, Pietermaritzburg. Edgewood doesn't affect us. And if you click on one of these lists, it gives you the names of all the private accommodation that is on offer. They will not help you find accommodation. It's up to you to find accommodation. But these are all accommodation that has been vetted by the university and approved by the university. So it's better to try use one of these than go privately. Sorry, I've now clicked out of the page, but there was also the numbers of the residents, residence staff. So there were some questions from people. You haven't heard if you've been offered residence or not. If you're worried, contact those residence staff and see where you are on the waiting list. Okay. That was the one thing. The other thing I've seen questions about is how you log in to Moodle or to the LAN or your email, etc. And I want to bring your attention to this document, which is also on the orientation webpage under ICS for Information Communication Services. Useful links, useful information. This talks you through how to set up your LAN password. The LAN is the network within UKZN. How to change your password. And there's another document, it's not the one I've got here, but it's on the web page, how to set up your email, how to log into Moodle. If you are still stuck, on each campus there's an ICS walk-in desk for students, and you can go there and you can ask them to help you, and they're very helpful, and they will help you set up your email or to log into the LAN or to log into Moodle. On Westville, then L Block, first floor, Howard College, they're at Shepstone, and in Maritzburg campus, they're at the science block. And the maps are on the web page. Okay. I've stopped screen sharing. All right. I think that has covered everything that we had to tell you. So I'm going to bring this session to an end. Thank you very much for joining us. If you still have questions, especially about curriculum advice, please go to the registration website, click on the links for curriculum advice. They are open every day during office hours. And if you click on that link, it will take you to a Zoom room like this, and there'll be an academic there who will help you, because it can be very confusing and stressful. But there is support for you, so please make use of it. Thank you for joining us. We will put the screening of this session on our webpage as well. And good luck, and we'll see you on campus Monday morning. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to end the session now.